I can't believe we're here again, but we have to talk about Karen Reed a little bit more.
I mean...
Or at least drag the corrupt cops yet again.
I was going to say have to or get to.
I mean, we are dragging those Canton officers. I'm gonna connect all the dots for everyone, don't you worry.
Okay, good. They need to go to that town, surround it, and get all the nice people out and then burn it to the ground.
I mean, and once a storm is coming, everyone hunker down because whenever there's a big storm, the corruption is out in full force. Sandra Birchmore, we have your back. We're going to help get to the bottom of this, girl. Hello, Patrick Hines.
We don't really tell them the things in the intros for the bonus, so tell me a joke.
Oh my God, where do cows go on Saturday nights?
Where?
The movies.
Stop it! That was a really unexpectedly. If you had said that to me, I would not have had one at the ready.
I always have that in my back pocket.
You do?
I should have a couple of more. I feel like real diehard listeners will be like, you always say that one.
Wait, why do birds fly south for the winter?
I don't know, why?
Because it's too far to walk.
Oh, there you go. See, I like that. I was trying to think of like, what's the obvious, like where's the gotcha? Where's the gotcha?
Yeah. Well, hi, girl. Tell them what we're talking about today.
So this is our 16th bonus episode of the year. This is a new Dateline that just came out. It's season 33, episode 87.
I know.
Betrayal of Sandra Birchmore.
She was really looking forward to creating her own family. We tried our best. And sorry it wasn't enough. Because if it was, she would be here.
They found Sandra deceased in her apartment.
I was told that she had committed suicide, but in the back of my mind, it isn't adding up.
Given how excited she was about becoming a mom, it didn't jive with us.
This broken necklace, this was a clue to you.
Definitely, yeah. I said, that sounds like a sign of a struggle.
When I first saw the video, my jaw dropped.
He's walking into the apartment. He has a mask on. He's got a hoodie on over his head.
I'm thinking somebody murdered her.
You're thinking cover-up?
Definitely.
Your investigation revealed a bombshell.
Yes, it did.
All right, well, look, it's February 1st, 2021. It was a cold and blustery start to the week. A nor'easter was blowing in, which we know means shit's about to go down in Canton.
In this area, 100%. Andrea Canning is here. She's our host. She's awesome. I'm not critiquing Andrea Canning, but I love that she's here. The reason this is happening, if the name Sandra Birchmore is familiar to you, it's because this was a major conversation happening at the height of the Karen Reed trial because so many of the players in this horrible case were also in that horrible case.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I mean, and I didn't even connect the dots when they said Canton at one point. And I'm from Massachusetts. I should know this.
Yeah, so this was a rabbit hole I went down while the second trial was happening, like when we were covering it. So I'll sort of be a little bit of a guide to be like, if that name sounds familiar, remember that thing that happened when we covered it? I'll just bring it back. Like, it's important that Dateline is covering this case for like a lot of reasons.
And can I just say one thing? I was screaming on an episode recently about how if cops are all about building community trust, if they could ever just take a little bit of accountability, like the idea that nobody is expecting everybody to be perfect all the time. Chief Donna is here,
She's awesome.
And she does that. She's here to say, shit was fucked up. Shit was fucked up on my watch, and we are not going to let it happen again. I just wanted to really thank her for her candor, for her honesty, because it is so fucking rare. This is another episode of the women doing the work, and I'm not even saying that as like a TCO catchphrase. I'm saying that like the women are going to save us. The women in this episode are so amazing, and I don't know, I'm very happy to get to tell this story.
Yeah, it shouldn't be rare, but you'll hear us be like, she did something unprecedented, and it shouldn't be unprecedented.
And almost every time it's a woman. You know what I mean?
I do.
It is really, really unbelievable. Like, as a man, it's sometimes hard to take because I try to do my best in the world.
Because we're so awesome?
No, but in all honesty, like, it's kind of hard to live in a world that can feel very anti-man. I totally understand why that is. Mm-hmm. But it's also like when you are a man who is just trying to do their best, it's hard to hear it all the time. But I gotta say, these women are doing shit that men would never do.
And we meet so many of them. So we know Andrea Canning, right? Our old friend Andrea Canning.
I love her so much.
Then Cheryl Carlson. So at the time, it's February 1st, 2021.
Cheryl Carlson, then assistant principal at East Elementary School just outside of Boston, scrambled to get everyone out the door before the storm hit.
Always a lot going on when we have to be calling parents, making sure Students are getting home.
Calling parents. She's getting everything organized. She's like on top of it.
And can I say, having grown up in Massachusetts, we definitely had snow days. I don't remember a snowstorm ever being so bad that they canceled school midday.
Yeah, that's 2021 weather for you.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I guess that's true.
Like,
I mean, it was really, the snow is bad up there, but it's real bad in this town, apparently.
Yeah, so Cheryl tells us about Sandra Birchmore. She's 23 years old. She's a teacher's assistant. She was helping Cheryl with everything.
Yeah.
And Cheryl's here to say, like, everything was kind of panicky and stressful only because of the weather, but in terms of Sandra, everything was fine. Like, nothing struck Cheryl as different with Sandra. It was just like all hands on deck. We got to get these kids home. We got to do the phone trees.
Yes.
Like, that's where the focus is right now.
And Sandra's a teacher's aide at this school.
Sometimes when Mike and I want to take a day off in the middle of the week, we'll just call it a snow day.
Really?
It's just like a cute little thing. Is it weird to call something that I do cute? But it's like a thing where it's like, should we have a snow day today?
No, you guys do another cute thing that we've talked about on this podcast sometimes, where every now and then one of you will go on Facebook and post on the other's wall, like, hi.
It's for if it's like my birthday or like an anniversary, whenever usually people are like, let me tell, instead of going pages and pages, Michael just posts like, sup.
Yeah. And I always comment because I'm like, I feel like you guys are just down the hall from each other. I love it. It's
well, we are,
very cute.
Or he'll be like, we'll be watching, sitting next to each other, and it'll be like, ding, Mike posted on your, and I'm like, oh, right, it's my birthday.
It's my birthday.
Right, instead of doing like the 10-page,
Totally.
diatribe or whatever.
God, the pressure for that really is a lot. Steve and
We
I
never
don't,
subscribed.
We don't, but on our 13th anniversary, I'm like, fuck it. Today I'm doing it.
Sure, yeah. I think there's definitely, if you scroll back years and years, there's definitely like on this day we got married, because it like rained on our wedding day. It was a very perfect us kind of moment.
Well, speaking of awesome women, Sandra Birchmore.
Yeah, so 3 days later.
When school reopened 3 days later, Sandra wasn't in her classroom.
I get a call asking, have I seen Sandra? And no, I haven't seen her yet that day. I'm like, is she not here? Like, no, she hasn't shown up.
Everyone's back at work except for Sandra Birchmore.
And that always kills me because Sandra's old enough to she lives on her own and nobody has noticed that she's been missing for 3 days.
Because everyone's been hunkered down.
Yeah.
So Cheryl's like, she didn't show up, but to be fair, no one went to 100 right away. She's like, it is weird, but maybe there was a miscommunication because she is Sandra is super responsible. Like, no one is jumping to terror and panic.
No, but Cheryl, her boss, does take action. I was like, hey, everybody needs a boss like Cheryl and a cousin like Angelique when we meet her. Like, I love that Cheryl's like, not super weird, but we're going to look into this.
Because she's like, there's a protocol, so I'm following the protocol.
Yes.
So what happens is the school calls Sandra. No answer. And so then after that, they call the school resource officer, and then that person takes over. And so when the school resource officer takes over, the first step is to call the police.
Girl, Z-Biotics pre-alcohol probiotic is back. I gotta tell you, we had a party the other night after one of our events. We threw the after party and we had a whole bowl of these out and we were encouraging everybody to make it their first drink.
Yeah, because we're all too busy to be calling out of work, wasting money on a workout class we're not going to. We have stuff to do tomorrow. So our first drink of the night is gonna be Z-Biotics pre-alcohol probiotic.
Yeah, so what it is the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking.
And so here's how it works. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut.
Yeah, it's a buildup of this byproduct, not dehydration, that's to blame for rough days after drinking.
Pre-alcohol produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down. Just remember to make pre-alcohol your first drink of the night, drink responsibly, and you'll feel your best tomorrow.
This stuff works, fam, I gotta tell ya. So fam, fall is here. That means it's sweater weather and time to enjoy cooler weather and some drinks out with friends.
Whether you're enjoying a glass of wine at a fall festival or a spooky cocktail at a Halloween party, don't forget to drink a pre-alcohol before drinking.
Yeah, you'll be able to celebrate and still wake up feeling great the next day.
Go to zbiotics.com/TCO to learn more and get 15% off your first order when you use TCO at checkout.
Z-Biotics is backed with a 100% money-back guarantee, so if you're unsatisfied for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked.
Remember to head to zbiotics.com/TCO and use the code TCO at checkout for 15% off.
Thank you, Z-Biotics, for sponsoring this episode and our good times. So they call the student cops. The student cops are sent out to do a welfare check. We're going to learn in a minute that the cops know Sandra. And they care about her. They should do this for anybody, but you can tell there's a little bit more urgency because she's known to them.
Yeah, so Donna McNamara is the Stoughton chief of police. And Donna says, first and foremost, yes, of course, just like you're saying, they're doing that anyway. But she's like, Sandra Birchmore, how do I know that name? She knows that name because Sandra was part of something called the Explorer program.
Which should be shut down in every town going forward.
Jesus, it is is a hotbed for grooming, illicit, horrifying activity.
And it shouldn't be. The idea of the program is that it teaches kids about different career paths in law enforcement. That should be an amazing thing. I could see Daisy even being interested in that. But we're going to learn later, it's run by men. There is no oversight or regulation into this program. It is, like you said, a hotbed for fucking grooming. It is disgusting. And these men should burn in hell for the rest of their lives.
And so here's something interesting. Sandra had just moved to Canton. Now, if that town sounds familiar to you, it's because that's where John O'Keefe was killed, and it's the same police force that charged Karen Reed with his murder. So now the Canton police have this case because that's where Sandra Birchmore currently lives.
Yes.
And you will be the expert on this, but I Googled it, just like I went on Google Maps. Canton and Stoughton are basically the same town. Like, they border each other.
This is the thing where, like, my Massachusetts people, if you grow up on Cape Cod, it's like its own country. You don't really, my friend Allison will know all about the other towns in Massachusetts, but I actually have no idea. Like, growing up in Cape Cod, it's like the arm at the end of the Massachusetts, and so you don't go over the bridge. It's very much, I don't know. So the answer is you know more than I do.
Well, in my Googling, it's not like, they're kind of part of the same counties. Like, they kind of, there's no big, like, oh, I'm in Stoughton now. There's like a line that it's an invisible line, and like you can be on one at like the store on one in Canton and looking across the street, and then it's Stoughton. It's like
really
the same exact
thing. It's so weird to hear you say words like towns where I grew up. It's so funny.
I have to have Stoughton written phonetically, so I don't screw it up.
We got lucky because it could have been like Worcester. It could have been like Peabody, which looks like Peabody.
Worcester is Worcester, is how it's spelled.
Yeah.
So the Canton police and the school resource officer go to Sandra's home together.
Officers knocked on her door with no answer. They reported back to the station.
We're not getting an answer at the door here.
What about a car? Do we have a car out in the lot? If the car's there, then we got to go in.
Sandra's blue Chevy was there. So officers asked the building manager for a key to her apartment.
We actually hear the call where, like, the officer on duty calls it in, and they're like, if her car is there, you need to go in. Like, they really care about finding out what's going on with this
I should
girl.
hope so.
Yeah.
So Michelle McPhee is a journalist, and she covered this case a lot, and she's here with us.
Yeah.
And she says the cops go in, and the kitchen was messy, but, like, no sign of a struggle, no forced entry, no break-in.
So it's just like, Michelle, you had to mention the messy kitchen. She's like a kid just out of college, working as a teacher's assistant. Like, her ramen noodle cups are probably all over the place.
Everyone was getting ready for the storm, like, enough.
And also, like, what is so wrong with a messy kitchen, Steve? It's fine sometimes.
Whoa.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's not the end of the world.
Steve.
There's no sign of a struggle or a break-in or Sandra until they get to the bedroom. And Sandra is there. And they say that, like, right away they think that she's died by suicide. There's a strap of a duffel bag around her neck. And they just assume this is a straightforward, tragic suicide.
Yeah, already it's kind of like, really?
Yeah.
It doesn't really see... The cops are like, oh, no question. But even these little details we get, it doesn't really make a whole ton of sense.
Well, because there's also no question that the cops on the scene know more than we know at this point in the time. Suicide, you say? Great, check it off.
Well, how easy...
And print.
I'm not saying this, but, like, how easy is that for the case to be closed? So...
This is just... You were saying during the Karen Reed, when we were covering it, like, the absolute corruption in the Massachusetts police. This is such a brazen, shocking example of it.
Yeah.
Really, it's going to boil your blood.
And it goes on and on.
Yeah.
So Barbara, we get a lot of Sandra's family and a lot of her cousins. So Barbara is one of Sandra's cousins, and she says, like, we were just texting. Everything seemed fine. Like, what are you even saying to me?
Cousin Justina's here.
After Sandra's death, she reached out to the therapist to let her know what had happened.
Her therapist was in shock. She said that she had just seen Sandra on Friday afternoon, and everything seemed fine.
Is the therapist in agreement with you that this does feel odd?
She was.
She was in therapy. She's going to therapy.
She's working on it.
She's working on it. Who among us doesn't have mental health struggles?
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I came in like, yes. The answer, and the short answer is everybody.
Exactly.
So the point is, even though we know that what Sandra's family is saying doesn't always mean anything, like sometimes something is brewing behind the scenes, but like we have to respect that her family is saying like there weren't any signs for them and they were a close family.
And Cheryl, the assistant principal, who's Sandra's boss, is like, right away I thought this could be murder. Like right away people are like, Like, this makes absolutely no sense.
What's interesting about Cheryl, who's Sandra's boss, she says that the news was scary. And I thought that was a really interesting word to use because it shows that Cheryl immediately knows that something is wrong.
Yeah.
And she's really honest about it now. But the word scary, it made her stomach drop. It's like her gut was screaming at her.
I think one of the things in Datelines and documentaries, I think that the interviewees often know more than we know that they know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everybody knows that this girl is connected to the cops and the cops are kind of corrupt. So I think when there's like a suicide that's out of character, all of a sudden you're like, oh,
wait a second.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the medical examiner, same one in the John O'Keefe, Karen Reed case.
Oh, really?
By the way.
We need to do something about this guy.
Just you wait, I'm telling you.
Oh, my God.
They confirmed that Sandra took her own life. Immediately, case closed, end of story, right?
Yeah.
So we learn more about Sandra. She was raised by a single mom, working class. She was always full of life. Like, there's always a lot going on in Sandra's life.
Yeah.
Good or bad, but she was always, like, really energetic, really outgoing. She's described as, like, not shy. Like, she was interested in you. She'd ask questions. She just wanted to be around people.
And she was really close with her mom, Denise.
They always did things together. Her mother always had the best interests, for Sandra.
But Denise was not well. She had asthma, she had heart disease, she had diabetes. She wasn't well for a good portion of Sandra's life.
We're told that mom, Denise, was not well for a good portion of Sandra's life, but they're still very close.
And Andrea Canning says, like, that must have been rough.
Yeah.
Like, being the single mom, struggling with money, struggling with your health. Sandra is a kid.
Yes.
Andrea Canning really says, like, man, like, poor everyone. Like, it's just a lot to navigate.
And until I'm told otherwise, I will call the dad a piece of shit because he's not anywhere in Sandra's life and we don't get any further information.
We don't get any information.
Dads are the worst until proven otherwise by me.
Except that Denise always, it was like really important that Sandra had strong role models.
Yes.
That's something that Denise really wanted. So I guess to your point, she didn't have a father figure in her life.
Can I just say too, as a parent, that conversation is so dicey. You want your kid to have strong role models, but why are they all groomer abusers?
Like,
you know what I mean? And I know, like, I'm saying that as a joke. I know that's not really true. I know there are a lot of people out there that work with kids that are wonderful. Mm-hmm. But, like, there are so many of them that are not, that, like, I'm afraid to leave my kid alone at gymnastics. I'm afraid to leave my kid alone at karate. Like, the world is full of monsters, and we just want to enrich the lives of our kids. We just want to take them out there and let them do all the fun stuff, but, like, the world is terrifying.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully Michael Werner is one of the good ones.
Here's hoping.
Here's what, I mean, according to Andrea Canning.
Yeah. That's out of Canton, so we don't know for sure.
Like, honestly.
Canton, we love you. I'm sure most of you are great.
So he's the martial arts instructor, and he's just here to say, like, yeah, I knew Sandra from when she was about 11 years old.
Yeah.
She always had a blast. She had a smile on her face. She was, like, great at the martial arts studio.
Which I loved that for her. I love that she was, like, a tough kid, or not a tough kid, but she was, like, a kid who wanted to be physical. She just wants to do well in whatever she tries.
Yeah.
And,
like, martial arts is, like, so much about discipline, almost mostly about discipline, And he just has, like, nothing but great things to say about Sandra.
And then we learned about the Explorers program. It was another opportunity for her. I'm sure the mom who's not doing well is like, go be around cops. Well, cops will, like, teach you the world and you'll, like, it'll be great.
So, yeah, let's slow down on this. So at 13 years old, Sandra starts the Explorer program, which is modeled off of a nationwide program started by the Boy Scouts. Woof. But it was very, and I'm not saying this as a joke, I'm not being, like, ghoulish about it. We're told
the curriculum was hands-on. Law enforcement officers taught classes, led boot camp drills, and arranged ride-alongs.
Can we talk about ride-alongs with a 13-year-old? Like, if I'm calling the police because there's a man that's broken into my house, can a 13-year-old not be in the car, please?
Yeah, what are the details of these ride-alongs? Is it just, like, a way to get the kid alone? What is the...
It really breaks my heart because a program like this could be so good. We had an officer who, I grew up in, like, low-income housing in Massachusetts. We had a cop that patrolled it all the time. He was, like, assigned to our neighborhood. He was great unless he wasn't. But as far as I know, he was great. He would come in, he would let us, like, play with, like, the lights and the sirens, and he would come in every day, and his name was Officer Nick. Like, these things can be good. They can be great for a community. They can be great for kids. But, like, I'm sorry, where is the oversight? Where are the women?
I didn't see a single woman in charge there.
I'm okay with push-ups in a parking lot.
Yeah,
I'll give them that.
But it just sort of felt like, so this is also a little bit disciplinary. Because it's not just like, here's, like, learn what the cops do. I know cops have to do push-ups, maybe. We'll get to that whole thing in a minute. But
there is, like, a physical fitness aspect to it, which I don't hate.
No, I don't either. It just feels like...
Especially when your kid eats so much macaroni and cheese.
You know what? Let's not.
And chicken nuggets. But do you know last night it took us about 15 minutes to get Daisy to eat about a centimeter-long beet? And we just sat at the table. We just refused to get up until she ate it.
Okay, here's something.
Yeah.
Sometimes beets taste like dirt. And it's because that's where they come from. They are root
Couldn't
vegetables.
agree more, but it is honestly
You didn't dress it up for her at all?
No.
Just like, here's a raw beet?
No. We cooked it. Oh, my God. We're not monsters. We didn't tie her to the chair and force it into her mouth.
You were at Schrute Farms just forcing her to eat beets.
No, but beets are the sweetest. They are so sweet. They're not delicious, but they're very sweet. So, like, we've tried everything. Peas and green. She will not eat vegetables. So Steve the other day was like, she's eating vegetables starting today. And so we made her eat a beet, and we made her eat a centimeter of a beet, and she liked it. But I'm just saying that, like, when your kids are eating this much garbage and then we send them to the Explorer program, I'm fine with Daisy doing 5 push-ups.
I mean, sure.
You know what I mean? Sorry, I'm not yelling at you. I know you're on my side.
Just put like a bunch of peas and macaroni and cheese and call it a day.
You think Daisy is smarter than that? Like,
I'm not saying she's not. I don't think it's smart. It's like, if you want the mac and cheese, you got to eat it with a couple of peas in it.
But then she won't eat it.
Okay, then you don't have the mac and cheese. Good night.
But that is a thing. Parents, tell me if I'm wrong. That only works in theory. That doesn't work in practice. Like, I'm not going to send my kid. I'm not debating, but like, I'm not going to send my kid to bed without. Now she's crying. She's starving.
Give her 10 minutes.
You know,
laying
Daisy,
in bed, staring up at the wall. She'll go,
maybe
you know
most
what?
kids, but you know her. You know she
true.
won't. And then she'll get up in the middle of the night and go make herself 10 gallons of chocolate milk or something.
Oh, my God.
Why did I have kids? It's a nightmare.
So Sandra did this program all through high school, and she wanted to either be like a cop or maybe join the military.
Yeah.
And so this is where we finally officially meet Chief Donna McNamara, and she was a lieutenant.
God damn it, she's awesome.
She's awesome. And I mean, truly, if she were here, she'd be like, I literally just showed up to work that day. Like, to her, and this is how it should be, she wasn't doing anything that extraordinary. She was just doing the right thing.
And if I may, I like a lot of people in these documentaries, she's not here because she wants to be. I really think that Chief Donna is here to take accountability. I think, and Donna didn't do anything wrong, but this happened in the department that she worked in. She was not running it at the time. This is not Donna's fault.
No, she's hating every second of this, honestly.
But she's here to say, we fucked up. Right. And I love her. I was begging for that last week.
Yeah, so she was a lieutenant when Sandra was in this program, and she is explaining, like...
I had been on a couple calls, responded to calls to her home when she was a young teenager with her mom.
She's fighting with her mom?
Yes.
Would it get physical?
No. Sometimes it was just not seeing eye to eye growing up.
This is where we get, those little Dateline lower thirds.
Yeah.
Did you always see eye to eye with your parents?
No.
Tweet us at Dateline NBC, #Dateline. Like, Dateline, please.
Come on.
But I'd rather that than, like, have you ever walked in on a loved one murdered? You're
Totally.
like,
Yeah. I know.
Dateline.
Dateline.
Like, sometimes those questions at the bottom are, but this was such a little softball.
Jillian and Mike are just trying to text each other from the opposite end of the couch. Can you give them a break for 5 minutes?
Did you always see eye to eye with your parents? Like, no, Dateline.
Does anybody actually do it? Does anybody take them up on the tweet offer?
Yes. You'd
Do
be
they?
surprised.
Oh, my God. Girl, Everyday Dose is back. This is one of those things I really love. So this is coffee plus benefits. Now, you know I love coffee. I drink it every morning. But I switched to Everyday Dose mostly because I was getting that afternoon crash, and I would always feel kind of like bloated and gross after my second cup of coffee. With Everyday Dose, all that goes away, girl.
Yeah, so it's like plus benefits, but it's also taking away all those negative things. You shouldn't have to like suffer through your morning coffee.
No.
You should be enjoying it.
And here's how they do it. So Everyday Dose combines the high-quality coffee with powerful ingredients like lion's mane, chaga, collagen protein, which everyone is talking about right now, and nootropics to fuel your brain, boost your focus, and give you clean, sustained energy all day long. It tastes just like coffee without the downside. So we're talking no crash, no jitters, just clean, sustained energy. And what they're not asking us to say, but I'm just going to say anyway, it's delicious.
It's delicious. Talk about a life hack.
Honestly.
Let's get into it.
So fam, get 45% off your first subscription order of 30 servings of Coffee Plus.
You'll also receive a starter kit with over $100 in free gifts by going to everydaydose.com/TCO or entering TCO at checkout.
That's everydaydose.com/TCO for 45% off your first order. But only order it if you want to have great tasting coffee that makes you feel great.
Don't sleep on those free gifts. I love a little free gift moment.
Truly.
Come on, no stomach pain and a free gift.
I know.
Hello. So again, Sandra's kind of going through it. Her mom was not in the best health. And when Sandra is a teenager, her mom passes away. And then a month after that, her grandmother also passed away.
I mean, that is so hard.
It's really bad.
I mean, especially to happen to a teenager. Like, that is just brutal.
Yeah. So Sandra gets an associate's degree in criminal justice. And she ditches her plan to become a cop because she says she's 4'10".
Yeah.
She has asthma. She didn't think she'd pass the physical requirements. Not for nothing.
You looked him up?
I think Sandra could have done just fine.
I think so too.
4 things.
Okay.
1, obstacle course.
Oh.
This event simulates the actions necessary to pursue and take down a suspect.
Oh, man.
So it's just like running in a zigzag pattern. The time limit is 130 seconds. 130.4 seconds.
And do we know what's in the... Are we talking tire swings? Are we you got to swim through a moat?
Okay, I'll read the whole thing.
Okay.
So the event begins, with an obstacle course where the candidate will be faced with climbing under an obstacle, climbing up and down steps, going through an open window, climbing over a wall, and negotiating a series of cones arranged in a zigzag pattern. At the end of the course, the candidate will be required to grab hold of a weighted bag attached to a pulley and touch it to the ground. Then they will immediately move around to the power station, power, capital P, capital S, power station, to the handcuffing simulation, where he or she will be required to pull on 2 hand levers until the cable hits the stop. This completes the event. The time limit is 130.4 seconds.
Sandra, I think you got this. Now, the asthma, I get it. I was like a fat kid with asthma who would have asthma attacks in the middle of soccer games. So I know that can be a stumbling block.
Here's the second event.
Okay.
The trigger pull event.
Oof.
This event consists of raising a handgun and squeezing the trigger 6 times with each hand. The time limit is 7.1 seconds.
You have to do both hands in 7.1 seconds.
Yeah, like one at a time.
Okay.
Like, what if you're I'm a lefty? I have to do whatever. I'm not doing any of this.
Yeah, I think we're okay.
Number 3 is the separation event. This event simulates tasks that require separating one party from another and controlling the individuals.
You are making this up.
Screenshots, girl.
Oh my God.
Such as crowd control situations.
Okay.
The candidate will be required to pull a hanging bag backward, touching it to the ground, basically dragging someone to the ground, which actually, I'm getting a little ahead of myself because that time limit is 14.2 seconds. What are these 0.2?
That's a good question.
Number 4, the dummy drag, where this event simulates dragging a victim or a suspect.
They grab me and they have to drag me across a field.
Candidates will be required to drag a dummy over a straight course. This time limit is 11 seconds.
I just want a shirt that says dummy, and they're just dragging me across.
11 seconds.
Over a thing.
So basically, can you shoot a gun?
Yeah.
Can you run a little bit? Can you shoot a gun? Could you pull someone to the ground, and then can you drag them when they're pulled to the ground?
And
That's
can
what
you
this
separate
is.
fighting parties?
I mean...
Like, can you separate drunk people at a bar? And look, cops, I'm not belittling your work. It is very important.
I think there should be a lot more than this. I think there should be courses in criminal justice and, racial history.
Sure.
I think there should be a lot more.
To that, I absolutely agree.
You think Columbo's doing the dummy drag? Absolutely not. He doesn't even carry a gun. He doesn't need it.
Of course not. He's Columbo.
So Sandra became a teacher's assistant with a new goal of going to nursing school.
Yeah.
So it's December 2020, 2 months before Sandra's murder.
Sandra announces that she's pregnant.
Very happily.
Very happily. She's been trying. She's pregnant. But now, this is where we get a little bit of Sandra's inappropriate oversharing.
Cheryl says Sandra was an oversharer. She was used to her revealing personal details.
Basically that her boyfriend, who was currently in a relationship with children, the plan was that he was going to leave that relationship.
She's telling you all of this in this baby announcement meeting.
Yes.
But he's going to leave that relationship. And she tells this to Cheryl, her boss, all at once.
Yeah. And so this is happening because Sandra has been forced to keep quiet about this guy for a really, really long time. And now that she's pregnant, Sandra's like, oh, yeah, I can tell people, but kind of, because she doesn't want anyone to know the name of the father.
Yeah.
And then we hear from her cousins who today don't want their last names used.
Yeah, Justina and Antoinetta.
So they say that they saw Sandra a week before her murder. They went to breakfast. They went to the diner. Sandra was about 2 months along in her pregnancy. And Sandra tells the cousins that the father of Sandra's baby is married with kids and his wife is pregnant. And Sandra's like, isn't this great? He's leaving all of that for me.
That's the whole thing where I'm very glad that the cousins were realists about this, because they're like, Sandra, girl, this means you're going to be, he's not leaving her. Whatever he is telling you, he is not. They never do. And you are going to be raising this kid on your own. And, Sandra's very happy. Her family is worried about this.
Yeah, and they're encouraging her, get out of this while you still can. Also, who is he?
Yeah, and so many elements of this are concerning. Like the fact that like she's about to be a very young mother raising a kid on her own, and the fact that she's got to keep this guy's identity a secret.
And that she's kind of thrilled about it. Like, we're told by everyone that she sees all of this as really good news and that all of the red flags, she's like, yeah, but they're red flags, but not forever, because he's totally leaving his whole family and pregnant wife for me, because she's really, whatever's happening, Sandra's been locked in for a long time. You can tell. She's not seeing clearly.
Well, because I want to say this, I don't want this to be like, she's been groomed. Like, she's like, Sandra has been groomed her whole life, because it's also just like, then you think about the quality of person that this is that she's talking about. He's a man who's married with kids and a pregnant wife who's been cheating on his wife, who's then going to leave that pregnant wife to be with you. Like, this guy sucks.
So now everyone's like, wait a second. Looking back, they're wondering, could this married boyfriend have played a role in her death?
Well, they also get a first name. His first name is Matthew.
Because Sandra had a lot of hope and a lot of expectations, and this guy was a secret, like red flags all over the place.
Yeah.
So Chief McNamara says that Sandra was kind of going through it. In addition to all of this pregnancy and the secret boyfriend and the messiness of all of that.
Yeah, and like Chief Donna is saying that, like, look, suicide did seem like it was on the table for Donna, because she said that Sandra had been struggling with her mental health all of her life.
Just 8 months earlier, Stoughton police had responded to an incident.
She had a family member that was concerned for her well-being.
So, possibly threatening to take her own life?
Yes.
Officers took Sandra to a hospital where doctors evaluated her and determined she was not a risk to herself.
She was fine, like she was doing okay, but we can't deny the fact that mental health struggles play a role here. And so the suicide isn't a thing that is completely implausible.
Yeah, because the doctors at the hospital say that she wasn't a risk to herself or others. And her family's here to say, like, there was a fight, it got bad. They're saying that Sandra mentioned something about suicide in the heat of the argument, but she was really going to therapy. She was working through whatever she had to work through. She was on medication. And even her own therapist, like Sandra's therapist, told Cheryl, her boss, like, I just spoke to Sandra like 2 days ago before she was discovered murdered. Like, she was doing really great.
Because assistant principal Cheryl reaches out to the therapist. Like, Cheryl is very involved. I was really thinking about, like, not only is she the assistant principal of a school and like managing all those kids, but she's got to now have this relationship for her employees as well.
Yeah.
To the point that she's reaching out. I think the bottom line is everybody knows there's more to the story. No matter what, there's more to the story of Sandra's death.
Yeah. And so on the complete opposite of Dateline being like, did you ever disagree with your parents as a teenager?
God.
And now at the bottom we have, if you or someone you know is in crisis, call the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline at 988. Thank you, Dateline.
Thank you, Dateline.
I appreciate that.
Andrea Canning insisted on it. She saw the final edit. She's like, you will put that in or I will walk.
You can have the did you ever disagree with your parents as a teenager, but I need this.
I am Andrea Canning. I demand this.
So who the hell is this Matthew guy? We know he's married. He has kids. His wife is pregnant. Oh!
He was also a police officer. And not just any police officer. He worked for Stoughton PD, the very same department that ran the Explorers program and had been such a big part of Sandra's life from ages 13 through 18.
Oh, he's a cop.
Yes.
For Stoughton PD, the same department that ran the program that Sandra was in from ages 13 to 18.
Like, that's crazy. This is where Cousin Angelique enters the chat. She really takes this and runs with it. She does her own investigation, basically. She Googles, like, Officer Matthew, Explorer Program,
Stoughton.
Canton. Right.
Yeah.
And she gets his name. It's Matthew Farwell.
Right. He's a detective. He's been with the department for like 10 years. And then the cousins are like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
So this guy's known our cousin for 10 years. He's in this like really kind of nefarious relationship with her. He's cheating on his wife. They're all like all these red flags. And this is the guy at the center of it. Like something is not right here.
And like once again, we have to remember she was in that program from 13 to 18, like for 5 years. And when did the dating start? When did the sex start?
And she's 23. He's known her for 10 years.
Yes. Girl, Helix is back. I gotta tell you, this is gonna sound fake, but I swear to God it's true. There are days I wake up so grateful that we have a Helix mattress.
And I've had my Helix mattress for years now.
Yeah,
I mean,
same.
a really long time. And I never go back. I'm not kidding. Even last night, I was at dinner with my parents. They were complaining about their mattress. I told them about Helix. They were on the website this morning.
I used to have terrible back pain when I woke up in the morning. I used to get super hot in the middle of the night. Those were my two major sleeping factors, completely gone, like from day one of having my Helix.
Yeah, and Mike used to wake up with like some like lower back issues, but not since the Helix. It's awesome.
And listen, improving your sleep quality is like the best way to improve your life. When I get a solid like 7 to 8 hours on my Helix, I sleep like the dead. I wake up and I'm literally bouncing out of bed. Like it's almost annoying the good mood I'm in the morning.
I know, because you have slept well, you're rested, you're ready to go. It sounds cheesy, and I know it's like an old trope for a reason, but it like a good night's sleep affects the entire rest of your day and everyone around you, honestly.
Correct. So fam, get yourself a Helix, but only if you want to sleep great and love your mattress. To do that, you go to helixsleep.com/TCO for 25% off site-wide. That's helixsleep.com/TCO for 25% off site-wide.
Yeah, and make sure you enter our show name after checkout so they know that we sent you. That's helixsleep.com/TCO. So Cousin Angelique calls the police, and she calls the state police detective unit, and they have taken over the case. Now, John Fanning is the lead investigator on this case. If that name is familiar.
Is he a Karen Reed guy?
Remember former trooper Michael Proctor?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this guy was former trooper Michael Proctor's boss. He was in that text thread.
Michael Proctor was the piece of shit. Was he the one that was texting like no
No
nudes?
ass, no this, no whatever.
About Karen Reed within hours of her being arrested.
John Fanning's this guy's boss.
Like, just to remind you, the Proctor guy was going through Karen Reed's phones looking for nudes.
And then John Fanning got a lot of shit because he was in this text thread and did nothing about it.
I mean, these are the kind of cops that are working the beat in Canton and Stoughton. Like, we need to evacuate the town. We got to get everybody out. We got to burn it down and start the fuck over.
Right. So Michael Proctor, former trooper, morally corrupt Michael Proctor, John Fanning is above him. So John Fanning is now leading. We know he's corrupt. He is now the head of the Sandra Birchmore investigation. And so Cousin Angelique tells John Fanning everything. She calls him up thinking that she's being helpful. And this is no shade to Cousin Angelique, but like, don't do this, because Cousin Angelique calls saying like, you need to know about this. Like a cop, this guy, his name is Matthew Farwell. My cousin was pregnant. Like they met when she was 13. Like something is horrible. You got to look into it. Don't do this. And Cousin Angelique, I know you were trying to do the right thing. I hear you. I get what your instinct is.
Yeah.
But everyone listening, do not ever call the cops directly and tell them bad shit about other cops.
But can you call the internal affairs unit? Is there a way to do that? Who should they call? What should she do?
I would call a lawyer first. I know lawyers are really expensive. I would never go to law enforcement.
About law enforcement.
I just wouldn't.
I mean, especially in this fucking town.
Like, you can't do that. And this is yet another example of why we should never do that. Go to somebody else first. Call a lawyer. I don't know, a free lawyer. I know it's expensive.
A free lawyer.
Like, or, like get a consultation. Call someone that'll do a consultation with you or something to be like, this is what I have. Like, who is a safe person to call? Do not call law enforcement and tell them something bad about law enforcement.
Right,
don't do it.
Right, because like, as we're going to see the cover-up upon cover-up, like you're basically giving, Angelique, once again, we're on your side. You did everything right. But like, you're giving them the information for the cover-up.
You should be able to do this, but you can't.
Yes.
Because Cousin Angelique then goes on social media asking for help, encouraging people to call John Fanning, Michael Proctor's boss, and tell them everything. And it's like, this made me so anxious because you should be able to post on social media.
Right.
Like, you should be able to have conversations with cops about bad cops.
Yeah.
But as we've learned, you can't.
Well, and also what she put on Facebook was like, do you have any information on Sandra's death? And Angelique is like, I couldn't find a single person in her life who would think that she was suicidal. They're getting the information together to say, like, this isn't right.
Because the response to that Facebook post is that something bad happened. Because
she'd had an ultrasound, called a baby photographer, and was planning a big reveal on Facebook.
She was going to announce the pregnancy on Valentine's Day.
In their minds, the answer was clear. Sandra's death was the result of foul play, and Matthew Farwell was somehow involved.
My gut was telling me that her pregnancy was a ticking time bomb for him.
she was going to announce the pregnancy on Valentine's Day. And the minute I heard that, I said, well, that's a ticking clock. That is a countdown for this Matthew Farwell to get his act together or come clean to his wife or whatever. That's a threat.
It's unbelievable to me the propensity for actually fucking killing people that these people have.
Yeah.
That like actually killing her was an option for this guy.
Well, for cops, of course, because they'll get away. They know how to get away with it.
It's crazy. People think that's us. People think because of our jobs that we can kill people and get away with it.
No way.
No, we aren't cops.
No way. And you know how the cops interview Matthew Farwell? In a school parking lot, not recorded. That John Fanning guy, Proctor's boss, just was like, hey, Matt, can I ask you a couple questions? In the parking lot, didn't record any of it, didn't make a record, nothing.
Answer me this.
Doesn't sound very official.
Is it handled this way because they want to be covered for if they do something wrong eventually? Or is this just, like, I don't understand this. It's what I've said about Daisy 1,000 times. Daisy kills somebody, I'm taking her to the police station. If I'm a cop and I know that a cop has done some shit, I'm turning him in. Aren't we all here today to do good people, to serve the community? You know what I mean?
No, like, our personal feelings aside, like, no. As we've learned, in my opinion, what the numbers show me are that cops will always protect other cops. And even if the motivation is, well, I don't want to be the outlier.
Yeah.
Like, even if, I want to do the right thing, I'll be ostracized. I can't do that. I can't turn on.
Look, it's one thing to be like, I saw that cop steal the cocaine from the evidence locker and I'm not going to say anything or I'll cover for him. It's another thing to be like, he killed this young woman and her unborn child.
Well, to
and
me,
now I'm going to cover for, that's insane.
Because it's much bigger.
Yeah.
Because it's not, it's more than, and I'm saying this with all the respect to Sandra Birchmore, it's much bigger than this one case. It goes much deeper and much farther, and I think for decades. Is my personal opinion.
I can't imagine becoming a cop and being like, now I've got to keep my friend's murder covered up. Like the fact that my friend killed this woman, it's absolute insanity to me. But it also seems like it's a real epidemic here. Like somebody needs to go into these like police departments in these towns and fucking clean house.
Well, this seems like a good time to remind everyone. A lot of people like to hide behind the, like, it's just a few bad apples.
Uh-huh.
I urge you, I beg of you, finish the rest of that, what is it, an idiom?
Sure.
One bad apple spoils the barrel.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you have one, it's all bad.
Did you see my eyes? I think it's the bunch.
I thought it was the bunch too, and then I Googled it, and apparently, originally, it's barrel.
It was originally the barrel?
So I was like, oh, a bunch reminds me of bananas, but still, like, one bad thing
ruins the banana.
Spoils the whole thing. So don't come to me about a few bad apples, because you're only saying half the sentence.
Yeah.
It's a good reminder that this is a systemic issue. And how many fucking bad apples are we going to talk about? We've been doing this for years.
But it seems like we've identified one hive of real bad corruption that, like, the Karen Reed case and the Sandra Birchmore case happening at the same time.
With the same people?
With the same people. Like, somebody needs to go in there and fix this. Maura Healey, lesbian governor of Massachusetts, I love you. Do something about this.
This is what I'm saying.
Stop watching the Lilith Fair doc, Maura, and go fix this.
Well, Michelle, the journalist, is here, and she says that in this, like, quote, interview, which, again, was a conversation with a friendly ally cop in a parking lot, not official at all.
During this interview, Farwell freely admits that he had had sex with Sandra Birchmore.
Farwell acknowledged that he met Sandra in the Explorers program when she was a teen, but said their affair didn't start until she was 22 and lasted less than a year.
The affair didn't start until she was 22 and that it lasted less than a year.
And they only slept together 2 or 3 times. First of all, that's a lie. But meeting her, still sleeping with her at 22 when you've known her since she's 13 is fucking weird.
Well, but that's power dynamics are power dynamics forever. Not to mention the fact that even if he didn't know her, he's a cop.
Right.
You know?
Of course. So he says the last time they had sex was October of 2020. And 2 months later, Sandra told him that she was pregnant and that he was the father. And he's like, well, I'm not the father. The timeline doesn't match up. Sandra's problematic. She's sleeping around. The father could have been any number of men. But then he also says that the last time he saw Sandra was the night of the big snowstorm to break it off. And I'm like, but I thought the last time you had sex was in October. So why are you going over there in person 4 months later?
But he has to admit to the fact that he saw her that night because we're going to find out he was on camera and he knows it.
Yeah, and already it's like, okay, so the last time you had sex was in October, yet you're going over in person 4 months later? Like, that doesn't make any sense, bro.
No, I mean, like, and that's, like, how much of his story even needs to make sense at this point,
and
you know?
So his story is, 4 months, we had sex in October, 4 months later, I go to break it off in person, demanding he's not the father. They have a big argument, and then he left. And so all of Sandra's cousins are like, yeah, that doesn't really add up.
It's important to note the night of the nor'easter was the day that school got let out, and then nobody saw Sandra again. So
Until school reopened.
Yeah, I mean, but they didn't, I mean, like, that's when they found her body.
Yeah.
So, like, he's literally right now in this conversation admitting to being at least one of the last people to see her alive.
Oh, for sure.
You know?
And so cousin Angelique is like, yeah, I don't know about that because Sandra's an oversharer.
Her cousin, the oversharer, would have told someone.
If the love of her life came to her house and broke up with her, you bet there would have been lots of phone calls and lots of text messages from Sandra to her loved ones to talk about it.
She would have told somebody.
And, like, nobody heard from her all weekend. So what I think this cop is saying, his story is, I went over there, we broke up. She was so sad that she then killed herself, and that's why nobody heard from her. But, like, bro, you were in the room, and yes, I said bro.
Yeah, but the thing is, Sandra does seem to be keeping a lot of secrets. Like, she just told her cousins about this guy. She didn't want to give him his name.
Yes.
Like, now people are, like, trying to just make sense of this life of hers because she was an oversharer.
Yeah.
She had all of these plans for the pregnancy, but yet, like, she couldn't tell anyone his name. Like, what's going on here?
And also, it's just like she would not have gone, like Angelique is saying, she would not have gone silent. If this had gone down like that, there had been a big fight, she would have been blowing up everybody's phone all weekend.
Yeah. And Sandra's family, they find a broken flamingo necklace in Sandra's room, and she wore that necklace all the time. And the photo they used to show us the necklace of, like, Sandra wearing the necklace in the wild is Sandra and some faceless cop with his arm around her. She looks 12 years old, and she is wearing the necklace.
It's just horrible. And the fact that the necklace is broken, the aunt says, to me, that sounds like signs of a struggle. Like, that is obviously a sign of a struggle.
Right. And so the family's like, hey, like, again, trying to be helpful. They are not wrong for doing this. The corrupt police are wrong. But the family's like, hey, you should have this necklace. Like, this is really valuable evidence.
Yes.
So they hand it to the state police, the same corrupt state police from the Karen Reed trial.
Girl, cornbread hemp is back. Look, I gotta talk about the seltzers because I've been saying it. We had a big party the other night and we put out the regular booze, but we also put out our cornbread hemp THC seltzers. They were the first to go. Nobody is drinking booze anymore.
Yeah, I don't know if kids still say it me, but like it me.
Truly.
I am loving these THC seltzers.
And I gotta tell you, they are not only delicious, but they are low calorie. I do think that's a big draw. We're talking 30 calories and 5 grams of sugar made with pure THC and all natural ingredients. So no synthetics, which means no hangover. Like, this is a game changer.
Yeah, and each can has 5 milligrams of THC, which is honestly, in my opinion, the perfect amount. So you don't feel like couch locked or paranoid. You're just unwinding. You're kicking back. You're enjoying the moment.
Yes.
You don't need alcohol. You don't have a hangover. I love it.
I will just tell you that one of your favorite RuPaul's Drag Race queens was downing these things. I won't name names. She loves them, though.
Oh my God. Okay. Like
I
I needed another reason.
I know. But listen, it's perfect for unwinding, kicking back, enjoying the moment without alcohol or a hangover. You know you've been wanting to drink less, everybody. Give cornbread hemp seltzers a try.
Yeah, their flavors are amazing. Blueberry breeze, peach iced tea, raspberry limeade, salted watermelon. That salted watermelon, don't sleep on it.
I know.
Pass it over to me.
So fam, right now, TCO listeners can save 30% off their first order and enjoy free shipping on orders over $75.
Head to cornbreadhemp.com/TCO and use code TCO at checkout.
That's cornbreadhemp.com/TCO, code TCO.
Cornbread hemp. This is the good life.
It really is.
You know what? I agree.
The medical examiner's office has done the autopsy.
Angelique called the medical examiner's office and spoke with one of their investigators.
They said there was no signs of broken bones or the body being battered or bruised.
There's no signs of her having been battered or bruised, and that's why they've ruled this a suicide.
Right.
Are you going to tell us about the medical examiner now?
It's just the same one from the Karen Reed case.
I mean, unbelievable.
But this means the case is closed.
Yes, exactly.
Very convenient, right?
So a few weeks later, the state police call Angelique. They're weirdly updating the family a lot.
I think to say, nothing we can do.
Yeah, because they say that they requested a second interview with Farwell and a DNA sample. His attorney politely declined.
I mean,
why are they calling to tell her that?
Probably, I mean, she
just to
probably
show
asking.
their work?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
So Chief McNamara now jumps into action because she's like, wait. This Farwell guy, she goes, he's one of my officers. Something is wrong here. And she says, like, she's got to do the right thing because regardless of anything else, the sexual relationship is extremely troubling based on how and when this guy met Sandra.
Yes. And once again, Donna knows her. You know what I mean?
Right.
Which, and all I'm saying by that is that she knows, like, I think that Donna feels like Sandra's not the kind of person who would go to suicide in a situation like this. So the benefit of Sandra having been in that Explorers program and all, like, at least Donna knows her furthers this investigation happening.
And is this indicative of a bigger problem? These men have been around a lot of 13-year-olds over the last several years, over a decade. So, like, is there something else to uncover here?
Oh, my God. And God bless Donna. Being the woman in the position to launch the investigation must be fucking hell for her.
Yeah,
Being
I'm
a
sure.
woman in these two towns, being the chief as she is now, I mean, the fact that she got there as a woman over these other men, it tells you the kind of person that she is.
And I think she's awesome. I'm not tone policing, but, like, she's not happy to be here telling the story. This hurt her a lot in a lot of ways that she had to do it, how it all plays out at the end. Like, this is not fun for her.
No, but I really believe that she is here to say, yes, we fucked up.
Yeah.
So she leapt into action with an investigation of her own.
Your internal affairs investigation revealed a bombshell about what else was going on in Sandra Birchmore's life.
Yes, it did.
Chief McNamara puts her deputy in charge, and she also hires private investigators, which to me is like, oh, she knows she can't trust the other cops, which is insane.
100%. But they get good shit. Donna gets Farewell's phone data and Sandra's phone and laptop data. They literally give us, like, we could not believe what we were seeing. Remember, his story is they had sex once or twice when he was drunk. He's not the father of the kid. It was a very casual thing. They find tens of thousands of text messages between Sandra and the cop.
Between 2019 and 2022, 32,709 texts between the two of them. That's an average of 30 a day.
Oh, my God.
I'm going to say that again. 32,709 texts between 2019 and 2022.
We learned that it takes them more than a year to comb through the text messages and put together all the information.
30 a day. This guy's married with kids, a pregnant wife, and he's grooming her.
Yeah. And we learned through these text messages that on multiple occasions while Farewell was on duty, they were having sex.
Now, doesn't that sound like, again, this automatically made me think of, again, Michael Proctor.
Yeah.
He was fired because, remember, the investigation found that he was hammered on duty and driving his police vehicle drunk on duty. Like, this is a trend.
Why is it so lawless?
Because they're cops, because it can be.
But I get that. But it's not everywhere. You know what I mean? Like, it feels like so specific to this area. And I would imagine that it breeds, you know, like, oh, look what my brother gets away with as a cop. Let me go be a cop and do the same thing.
To me, I think it is everywhere. I think it is. Like, I don't think it's like, oh, there's something in the water in Canton. I think we have all eyes on this case.
I don't think it's an outlier, but this seems extreme.
It's pretty big. Like, it's worth discussing the similarities between Karen Reed and John O'Keefe and this when there are so many, the same agencies, the same medical examiner, the same bosses, the same this, and we're not done with the similarities.
My God.
So the texts show that Sandra was in a sexual relationship with another officer in that same department. And it's not just another officer.
Matthew's twin brother, William Farwell.
There was text messages asking her to take pictures of herself and video herself. It was pretty sick.
The twins are sharing Sandra sexually.
Chief McNamara says there were also Facebook messages they believed were written by a third Stoughton police officer.
There's also text messages asking Sandra to take pictures and videos of herself.
Yeah.
It's obvious sexual exploitation.
And again, they met her when she's 13.
Yeah.
There's a third piece of shit cop involved. His name is Robert Devine. I Googled divine antonym because I wanted to be like divine, more like. So I got mortal.
No.
Mundane. Dreadful.
Yeah.
Dreadful seems right.
All right.
And then it made me think of, do you know that famous Judge Judy antonym?
No.
Do you know that? Okay, so there's a very famous like TikTok sound now that's going viral. You know, like the name and the phone number of the friend.
Oh,
all right,
yeah.
That same line of questioning. This guy.
That same guy?
No, in this like the quote is from the same thing where this guy refers to himself as a boy toy.
Oh, yeah. I've seen this.
And she's like, I look at you. And if I had to put a picture in the dictionary next to what a boy toy looks like, you would be an antonym. And then she goes to describe, to like mansplain what an antonym is.
Yeah.
And so it just made me think of like, my brain went from like, what's an antonym of divine?
Yeah.
To then Judge Judy antonym. So anyway, we have like the two piece of shit cops, the twins, and this like human antonym.
It's just it's the kind of thing where you realize, as we've been saying, that these officers met her because these are the officers who are running the Explorer program.
Well, this Robert Devine, the human antonym, was the head of the Explorers program, and these two fucking twins were under him.
I mean, this is absolutely insane. These young kids, these young girls that are going into this program, and they've been grooming them this whole time. And the quote sharing and all I can imagine is what they're saying to each other about her when she's not around.
Well, because Chief McNamara says, like, first of all, they are absolutely using this program to groom children.
Yes.
Argue with the wall.
Yeah.
But Chief McNamara says
it's just horrific to find this information out about people that are supposed to be protecting others. They dehumanized her in their text messaging and their interactions, and it's vile.
They dehumanized her in the text about her. And I'm like, that sounds awfully familiar too, former trooper Michael Proctor.
Yes.
That was the same word that we were using a lot in our coverage of John O'Keefe and Karen Reed, dehumanizing.
Right.
And that's what Alan Jackson was saying a lot in the case, like the way they're talking about these people.
Yeah.
And like Sandra Birchmore is a child, and the way they're dehumanizing her in these texts. Like, what are you doing over there, Canton?
I know that Karen Reed, she's such a complicated character. All I can think about now is like, I know we love Karen. Wait, do we? No, wait, we didn't.
Oh,
wait, I can't remember. Like, there's all of this horrible stuff did happen to her. We will never really know how John O'Keefe really died.
I know.
But she's also crazy.
But like the patterns are really eerily similar here.
Well, and I think my point in saying that she's crazy is, and I'm using that word loosely, please don't yell at me, but I think that it's easy to overlook the abuse of power because she's such a complicated character.
Right, like these are patterns that need to be discussed and investigated on a major scale. Everyone feels real comfortable doing the same shit.
Yeah.
It's all on duty. It's all the same group of people. It's all in writing. It's all via text.
These are the cops whose salaries your tax dollars are paying for while they're fucking kids in cars on duty.
On duty, or just like the medical examiner, like just saying what the easiest way to close the case. Like it's all the same players here.
Yeah.
But it gets worse, everybody, because this Matthew Farwell piece of shit started raping Sandra Birchmore when she was 15 years old and he was 27. They call it a sexual relationship, but I'm not going to sanitize it.
No, and I would like everybody to remember here that we spent 5 minutes talking about how sick Sandra's mother was when she was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
These groomers look for these types of situations. A kid who's having a kind of a hard time at home, whose parent can't be omnipresent, whose parent hand delivers them to their abuser because they think that they're doing something good for their kid.
Right, and so that's why when I say this was built to groom kids, it's like, oh, do you have someone who needs a little bit of discipline?
Yes.
Who's going to be put in a position where, like, you listen to the cop and you do what the cop says.
Yes.
And now, what are they going to go home and tell their mom that they're not having a good time at the place? That you know what? It's a mess.
Yes, of course. And it's
designed to be a mess.
It really, when you think about the grooming and how intentional it is, like Donna uses the word sick over and over and over again, and it is absolutely true.
Because to me, because she says,
if Sandra was alive, there would be charges for statutory rape, aggravated statutory rape. He controlled her, he was grooming her, and it was abuse at the worst level.
If Sandra was alive, there would be charges for aggravated statutory rape. And I'm like, why can't it happen now that she's dead? Because to me, the rapes and the murder are absolutely connected.
Well, it's the thing that we learned with the Robert Durst case, which is like, you know, they got him for murder, but then he died before the trial was over, or whatever it was, or after they convicted. No, he died before the trial was over, so he never got convicted of the murder or whatever. I'm getting that wrong, but when you die, the charges get dropped. You are no longer able to be charged with a crime.
It's crazy.
It really is. Especially when it comes to kids. Especially when it comes to people in power who are dealing with children, like the electric chair.
When they're absolutely connected.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like his repeatedly raping her and his twin brother raping her and the head of this Explorer program, like, and her murder are all connected.
Right.
There's no, like, that's not my opinion. That's a fact.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
So Chief McNamara says, in no uncertain terms, like this Farwell guy, he's a predator. He was controlling her. He was grooming her. And he said he was abusing Sandra at the worst level.
And then we learned that the plan, of course, was to fire this guy, but he's able to quit before that happens.
And then Stoughton PD tells the twin brother and the human antonym that I'm calling him now forever and ever.
Yeah.
They're told about the investigation, and they're also, quote, allowed to resign. And this is why I'm like, when we say burn it all down, this is why.
Right.
Because it's still protecting these people. Like, this is what I mean. Like, the few bad apples spoil the whole thing. Like, what do you mean?
You can say barrel. I'm not mad at barrel.
Because you want to say bunch.
You
but then
do
you're
want
like,
to say bunch.
I've never heard a bunch of apples.
It's pronounced nor'easter.
Nor'easter.
One
But
bad
that has the
apple ruins the whole nor'easter.
That's the N-O-R apostrophe, right?
Yeah, you're right. It's like how I'll never be able to tell hors d'oeuvres.
There's a lot going on with hors d'oeuvres.
So much.
There's a lot of stuff reversed that you'd think wouldn't be diverse.
H-O-R-E. But then there's
Where's the apostrophe?
I have to look it up every single I just say appetizers.
Are there two apostrophes?
No. Is that allowed?
In two words, if it's two different words.
Oh, I guess so. I don't know.
I think it's if you were to say it phonetically, I think it's hors d'oeuvres, right?
Okay, sure.
If that helps you.
Yeah.
I'm not writing it. I think you could say hors d'oeuvres.
Just
I don't think
say
anyone's going to be like, spell it. I think you're allowed to say it.
I know, but when I've had to order catering for parties, that's when you run into it. And it's a real nightmare,
And
GP.
if you say hors d'oeuvres in the wild and someone says spell it, then you say you don't get to have any.
And you're not invited to the party.
Yeah, bye, go home.
Get out of here.
Whatever.
What do you work for, Canton PD?
Like, Jesus Christ. So 2022, after 19 months, Chief McNamara's her personal investigation concludes. And she does something almost unheard of.
Yes.
She goes public.
The report is redacted, and she goes and stands in front of the microphones and tells them all.
All three men, the Farwell brothers and Devine, violated their oaths of office and should never have the privilege of serving any community as a police officer. The Stoughton Police Department recommends, without delay, their certification to serve as police officers be permanently revoked.
She says their names. She says they violated their oaths of office. She permanently revokes their ability to serve in law enforcement.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, I read it. It's 45 pages. It's out there. You can read it.
You read the whole thing?
I read it today. It is absolutely disgusting. And I'll get into some more of it like when it gets there. You can absolutely read it. It's there for you to read, justice.gov or whatever. It's there.
Thank you.
I don't encourage it. I'll say it as censored as possible, but as bad as you think these 32,000 texts, right?
Yeah.
They're not puppies and rainbows by any stretch. They're bad. They're as bad as you think they are.
Wow.
And then some.
And the thing is, I'm just going to say this again on behalf of all parents. I swear to God, we spend half the time trying to raise our kids and half the time from trying to keep our kids getting abused.
Right. And the thing is, this investigation, Chief McNamara's investigation, legally wasn't into the death of Sandra Birchmore. It was instead the conduct of the police officers.
Yeah.
Which, again...
Well, and that's because it was ruled a suicide.
Right.
They are not allowed to investigate this as a murder because it's been ruled a suicide. They figured it out. They solved it.
And she's trying to say, but there's a connection here.
Yes.
Clearly in these 45 pages, because she says to us, to Andrea Canning, she's on the record saying, Sandra did not die by suicide. Matthew Farwell murdered her. There's no way that is not the case. And so Andrea Canning says, also, the disgusting brothers, hello to my Succession people, have never, because they're fucking twins.
Yes.
Which is another level of depravity that we aren't really slowing down on.
I know, because... Number one, it's too awful to think about what they actually did to her and what they got her to do. I mean, and then of course, like I said, to think about what they were saying about her behind her back.
Right.
You know?
To her.
Yes.
Like normalizing it since she's 13 years old.
It makes me think about how we're told that when she got pregnant, she was so happy. Like, you know what I mean? And that also must be part of the grooming, that they've convinced her that they're not bad people.
Well, she thinks that this is gonna get him to be with her.
Right, but it's all like, because when you zoom out, you're like, but Sandra, why would you want that? He's awful. And it's all part of the grooming.
Right. So the twins...
The Farwell brothers have never admitted to any wrongdoing, but eventually agreed to a lifelong ban from law enforcement in Massachusetts.
Eventually?
Yeah.
Agreed. Only in Massachusetts. Why do they have so much say in this?
I mean, the union, I'm sure, is a big part of it.
The texts are real.
I know, but you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I have no answer other than, like you've been saying, this happens all the time. We always see this.
Right.
They eventually, they never talk, they never give DNA, they never have to do anything, and then they eventually agree to some little thing that makes no real difference.
Right. And Robert Devine, the human antonym, denies everything. His Facebook was hacked. So everything that we read, it was all somebody else. Oh no, his Facebook was hacked.
And then they find these lawyers to defend them that take these cases, and you're like, how do you sleep at night?
These lawyers tell Dateline to take a walk. There's no way they're sitting down for an interview. Bye. So you'd think this 45-page report would reopen Sandra's case. Right? Maybe start a murder investigation. Well, you would be wrong.
No.
The state police are not interested. The state police say there's no evidence. The state police are sticking to the medical examiner's report. The same state police and medical examiner in a case you all know about.
Yes, but that's how they're able to do it. They literally say they were hanging their hats on the medical examiner's report that it was a suicide. And as long as the suicide is on the books, that's it. They're never going to investigate it.
It's hard to go back. It's hard to undo.
Well, there's one way, and that's through the media. And this is where the media starts to pay attention. And this is where Michelle from Boston Magazine comes back, and she's saying,
media coverage of Sandra's story was growing, and a few reporters were starting to question the state police investigation. Michelle McPhee was one of them.
Perhaps this woman didn't kill herself at all. There was certainly a number of people who had motive to see her go away.
There are lots of people with lots of motives for Sandra to be gone.
Yeah, and then there are two podcasters. Their podcast is called The Case.
Yeah, Kirk and Dave.
Yeah, Kirk and Dave. They're local to the area, and they're looking into the murder of Sandra Birchmore.
These podcasters in Massachusetts are really, they're really on it.
After months and months, these guys get the DA's office to turn over something major.
Okay, this I don't understand, because I'm assuming they're doing all of the Freedom of Information Act requests or whatever, and they don't get police reports, they don't get whatever, but they get surveillance video?
Well, I think so much of it was because now the 45-page document that I read is public.
Is out,
That's what they're basing a lot of this on. So, and it is pretty damning. But what they get is security footage from Sandra's apartment building, and they put it on TikTok. They make a whole episode about it. They put it on their feed, and they make a TikTok about it, and it gets like a zillion views.
Well, and what's crazy about this is that, and somebody makes this point, that we don't see anything that we don't know happened.
Right.
We see Sandra coming and going, cleaning her car throughout the day. That, by the way, is the worst part of living in Massachusetts. Having to, shovel out your car, and then sitting in the car for 5 minutes while it warms up. It is brutal up there in Massachusetts. I see you. But she's coming and going, and then we see Matthew arriving at the time that he said he arrived. He was there for 29 minutes, and he turns and leaves, and it's we think we know that he killed her. So, we're seeing this man go up to her floor, then 29 minutes later, he comes back down. He's wearing a mask. He's got a hoodie on or whatever. Obviously, he knows that these cameras are there. But I'm like, he just killed somebody.
Couple things about this. He's enormous.
He's 6'4" and she's 4'10".
So to see, even on the footage, you're like, he's just a big guy.
Big,
and I'm sure he's all bundled up because of the snow or whatever, but he looks big. And he's wearing a COVID mask, so you can't see his face. And I'm like, I'd love to know this guy's COVID mask usage.
Oh, totally.
Before and after this
we're
footage.
seeing a lot of COVID masks lately so people can't see your faces.
You know what
and
I mean?
I bet these are not the people who were wearing them when we needed you to.
Yeah. So the podcasters post this video. It's all over social media. And so then 2024, out of the clear blue sky, the FBI calls Sandra's family.
Yeah, they call Angelique in particular, and they go to talk to her. And this is where Angelique starts to think, okay, now we're going to get somewhere.
2 agents came to her house, and she told them everything she told the state police.
And they were very clear, look, you might not ever hear from us again. Or, it could be 2 years from now and then you'll hear from us. But don't expect anything anytime soon.
Don't expect anything anytime soon.
And what's weird is that the timing of this is really interesting because the FBI comes knocking in the middle of the Karen Reed trial.
Yeah.
And it's the same state police force, the same police department, the same DA.
Yeah.
And here are just a couple of people that you heard us mention in our coverage. So this guy, Officer Lenk, he's the guy who claimed that Karen Reed confessed, I did it, but then never put it in his report.
And we never heard it or saw it on the body cam that he was wearing.
So he's the guy that's coordinating with the state police and the DA's office in both cases.
Uh-huh.
Kind of weird, right? Remember Brian Albert? He owned 34 Fairview. His brother, Kevin Albert, is also part of this investigation.
Wow.
Sergeant John Fanning that we've talked about, the morally corrupt Michael Proctor's boss, who was in the text thread about Karen Reed, looking for her nudes.
Yeah.
He's the guy who spoke to Farwell in a parking lot and just didn't want to make it official.
He was the one that took Farwell to the parking lot?
He's leading this investigation. Not the internal affairs investigation, but there's a lot of stuff here and something where I was like, why do I know that name?
Yeah.
So remember we just said the 30 32,000 texts.
Yeah.
Which is like an insane amount, an average of 32 a day for 3 years or whatever.
Yeah.
This John Fanning guy said in writing, it's in the 45-page affidavit, that like there was not a sign, not a trace of Sandra Birchmore on this Farwell guy's phone. Like, she doesn't exist at all in the phone. The same guy who remember we did the whole thing about
Wait, I'm sorry. You're saying we know that there were 30,000 texts between them, but this guy's saying these texts don't exist?
Yeah.
When did he say that and to who?
So it's in writing. So the same guy, remember we like unpacked the whole thing, House Long to Die in Cold?
Yeah.
And there was an
How could I ever forget? That's going on my tombstone.
And then you mentioned Durst. I'm like, I can't believe this. Oh, this booth is a time machine today. We're talking about all these horrible people. But like, remember the guy who got on the stand and was like, Jen McCabe's phone is like totally clean. Like, we did the extraction. We didn't find anything weird.
Oh, yeah.
That guy's name is Nick Guarino.
Okay.
So in this affidavit, Nick Guarino said to this John Fanning guy, I know this sounds like we're in the weeds, but it's going to make sense in a minute, that like, oh, I did a dump on this Farwell guy's phone. There's not a single text between him and Sandra Birchmore, and that's in the affidavit signed XOXO John Fanning.
Oh, my God.
Then Chief McNamara is like, can you step aside? Like, can I do my own investigation? And that's when the 32,000 texts appear.
What?
So it's just kind of fucking insane that this guy, in writing, so even if Farwell, let's just say, deleted his whole text thread with Sandra Birchmore, a full extraction would show those deleted messages.
Yeah.
In the affidavit, you read it, it's in writing as clear as day. John Fanning, there were no texts between Farwell and Sandra Birchmore. We are not going to continue this investigation. And then Chief McNamara comes in and she's like, actually, there were 32,000 of them and we got them. And now they're in the affidavit.
Oh,
isn't that crazy?
How is that legal?
All of the same people in the Karen Reed trial. So when, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's really crazy to think, like, when you see it, when I'm like reading this affidavit and I'm like, wait, that can't be the same guy who testified for the prosecute. Like, that's crazy, right?
That is crazy,
So when you hear about all that, and this is when the FBI starts sniffing around the Sandra Birchmore case with all of these same, I don't know, if you're a conspiracy theorist, maybe you don't have to be anymore, but it's like, does the FBI think this is all connected? Does the FBI see the connection between the corruption? I don't know. They haven't told us yet. But it looks like maybe.
Wow.
They're asking, if you're the FBI and you're asking these questions, wouldn't you be asking if maybe you think there's a connection in the corruption? So whatever, in the weeds, all this to say, there's a lot of connections between the people in this case, the Karen Reed case. Judge Bev wouldn't allow any of the similarities in. Google it. It's there for you to, go down the rabbit hole if that's something you're interested in. So then Sandra's aunt files a wrongful death suit, obviously because of this like big affidavit that came out. And so now we meet Dr. Michael Bodden, who's a prominent forensic pathologist, and he's here hired by the family to review that autopsy report.
The summer of 2024, his findings made headlines in the Boston Globe, concluding what the family had long believed. Sandra's death was a homicide, not a suicide, and she'd been strangled.
He rules that Sandra's death was a homicide, not a suicide, that she was strangled. I'm like, great. Are we reopening the case now?
Well, it kind of changes everything because on October 28th, 2024, this Farwell asshole was arrested for the murder of Sandra Birchmore.
Well, then I would just love to know that it is the result of this guy's work for the civil suit, but they never tell us that. But great, here we are, we're going.
Well, I think it helps, but also Chief McNamara was helping the FBI the whole time, which is this big like like big reveal that she was sort of like with us the whole time.
And behind the scenes, of course, because she can't do anything in public.
Right. So here's what the U.S. attorney alleges, that Sandra Birchmore was groomed for years by this horrible program that was meant to help kids. She was raped. She was abused. This Farwell guy used his position as a cop to do this. I also think that, like, his twin and the guy who ran it, that human antonym, like, he is also at the head of this because none of this was happening without his acknowledgement at the very least.
It also goes back so far. So, like, Matthew met her when she was 13. At 15, he's sending her a Facebook friend request.
Yeah.
That is the thing that we need to talk to our kids about the most. Number one. Number two, he's meeting her at the library after school so he can do homework with her. That was probably a great help to her mother, who was sick and not feeling well. She probably was so grateful that this local cop was so happy to meet her daughter at the library, a public place where he could sit and do the homework, and all the while he's grooming with her. 6 months after he sent the friend request, when she was 15 years old, they had sex for the first time.
Yeah, and it's all out there. The text in that 45-page document, I don't recommend reading it, but it really shows what a violent, really like sick person. Like, he wished she was younger, like really really bad, like.
And just in like what they tell us in the episode, he had a history of choking Sandra. He first introduces to her when she's 16 years old, and they see it in the text messages. He says, "I'll choke you, I'll grab your throat." He is the cop that her mother entrusted with her personal safety and like education.
Yeah, it's all there. Like that's what I mean when it's all these guys being like, "Oh, I was hacked." Like, no, this is all real. You can't blame like. Also, I'm sure all of these boomers' passwords are like password 1 2 3 4.
Should it not be that?
It should not be that.
Well, I've got to go change my passwords.
Sorry,
Everybody
Steve.
hold.
But then look, this is all very, very messy. This is no disrespect to Sandra Birchmore. Obviously, she was a child when this first happened, but like she was threatening to expose their affair. And so she would be showing him these texts about like what she's going to be eventually telling his wife. So that whole thing about her photo shoot, her like pregnancy photo shoot and announcing it on Facebook, the cousins were right. Like that was a time bomb.
He was under increasing pressure. His wife is pregnant. Sandra Birchmore is telling everyone that her baby is his. She wants him to put his name on the baby's birth certificate, which is a public record that he is the father of this child.
Now this guy is like, oh my God, by February 14th, which is 2 weeks after she was murdered, she's going to tell his wife.
Yeah. And we also learn that 12 days before Sandra was killed, one of her friends calls the Stoughton Police Department to reveal the affair. By the way, go friend. Well, I guess not. I guess we're not supposed to do that.
Well, yeah, no, don't. I mean, because what happens is this friend who's trying to do the right thing, being like, I think my friend is like something bad is happening. The guy who answers the phone tells Matthew Farwell, which is shitty for a lot of reasons, but here's two of them. One, it's giving the guy a heads up instead of holding him accountable. Like, how do you get a phone call like that and then you're just like, oh, let me help the guy, the predator I'm hearing about. But in my opinion anyway, this absolutely led to Sandra's murder.
Well, what is internal affairs for? You know what I mean?
I guess like what Chief Donna did, like she used it right, but like,
yeah,
and this is why we have all this information.
Of course, like the person on the outside doesn't know to like track Chief Donna down in the parking lot and tell her, as opposed to like the shithead that answers the phone.
And they never would, because they're just going to keep everyone protected.
I mean, and that's the whole thing. It's like, what are you supposed to do when the people who are supposed to be protecting you are the ones that are like taking advantage and abusing you?
Yeah, and the affidavit also says, yes, this is absolutely a murder. There's evidence of blunt force trauma, so confirming what the family's pathologist says, and this broken necklace, because Andrea Canning says that it was visible in the crime scene photos, but it was never actually documented in the police reports to the public.
Like, that is such obvious corruption. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. And it's crazy. So, like, I was just thinking about the mask, because we learned that
the government's affidavit alleged that less than 13 hours after Farwell killed Sandra and her unborn baby, his third child was born.
This is quite possibly one of the craziest parts of this story.
Right. We have a picture of Matt Farwell wearing a mask, holding up his little baby.
So he, just to be clear, dropped his wife off in a hospital where he knew she would never be able to leave and track him down.
Yeah.
Killed Sandra Birchmore while his wife was in the hospital about to have a baby, and then was back in time for the, like, It's a Boy cigars.
And, like, we see the picture of him holding the baby. He looks, I mean, like, you can only see his eyes, but his eyes are black. He looks absolutely evil. Like, the man just looks evil. He just murdered somebody.
And I knew that the mask was weird. I didn't know why, but now it makes sense, because he was at the hospital.
Yeah.
With his pregnant wife.
And then we get the shocking news that made me literally scream out loud.
According to 3 sources familiar with the investigation, DNA testing showed that Matthew Farwell was not the father of Sandra's baby.
Sandra's baby was not his.
Which is, which is like, half of it is a mind explosion, but then it's like, oh.
Well,
my God.
Right, because it's like she was like groomed by so many different men that it could have been any of theirs.
At least 3. Like, we don't have any other names. I don't know if there's anyone else involved, but like there's at least 3 people. And when Andrea Canning said that she was being like shared by them, like we don't know who it was. But I wonder if it's maybe the human antonym, because I wonder if the twin brother like that DNA would show up.
Oh my God.
So maybe just like ruling it out, maybe it's the human antonym.
It just, I mean, he killed her because she was pregnant with his kid and wanted him to like be identified as the father, and it wasn't even his kid.
The rapes and the murders, in my opinion, are they go hand in hand. Like that's like very clear to me. So like the patterns here really can't be ignored, but everyone like be more like Chief Donna, because I can't believe how many times we said like, wow, in a shocking twist, she did the right thing. Like,
I know, she's amazing. And we learn in the end that Farwell has pleaded not guilty. He's in the custody of the U.S. Marshal Service. No trial date has been set. What are we doing?
I wonder if the FBI is really trying to I think they're just really trying to build a case here. I wonder if it's like a bigger case. I wonder if Chief Donna is going to try to make it bigger to get like all of these guys, because like a lot of people have to be complicit in something. It's like a symptom of a much bigger problem.
It's one of those things we used to always talk about where it's like, it's so exhausting, it makes me just want to go to bed. Like,
I know.
It feels like such an overwhelming problem in these two towns, and it's like, why even bother try? And now I'm part of the problem.
Like, this is systemic across the board, but like something is definitely in the water in this Canton, Stoughton area, which is like, and I can't believe that Chief Donna is here and like willing to be on Dateline about it. So keep talking, everybody.
And she says, like, one of the last things Chief Donna says.
When you put it all together, it is a failure in maybe many areas. And we are hopefully working towards justice for her.
We are hopefully working towards justice for her.
Yeah.
So good for you, Donna, you know?
Keep doing it. I'm not in like the shitty way where it's like, keep it up. But like, no, I really mean
please
like,
do it. Yeah,
keep it up.
thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Donna.
Oh, girl, we did Dateline. What's it called?
This is season 33, episode 87. Take that, Survivor. It's called The Betrayal of Sandra Birchmore, and I really appreciate the title of this.
Yes,
you know?
Absolutely. Fam, we love you. Join the Facebook group. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram. Subscribe on YouTube. Do all the things.
We got a lot more of these bonus episodes coming your way.
We're chickens. We've only made 6 episodes this week. We can make 6 more.
Oh, my God. I think we're doing like a total of 12 recordings in 11 days.
I mean, why not?
Which is absolutely wild. Like 12 episodes.
Yeah.
12 episodes in 11 days. We got this.
I wouldn't be anywhere else.
You know, all right. I love you
fam.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.